guys, welcome to the Sidelines podcast. I'm John, and I'm here with...
I'm Stewart.
And we're here to talk about opening day in baseball
Day.
and how it's the best time of the year.
It's just great. So, I mean, we've talked about it briefly with other topics of how, coming out of winter, coming out of that seasonal depression where in the moment you're like, oh, it's not real seasonal depression. But when, that weather starts getting a little warmer, the days are longer, the sky's bluer, and then you turn on some baseball, and it's like, man, that just feels right,
It's perfect time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same thing you feel like in the fall with football, dude, but this is just the best, though, because we're coming out of that, coming out of winter, it's cold, it's been the snow in most parts, not really in Tennessee at all.
And unless for randomly,
Yeah, it's not very much snow, but it's kind of cold, and it's that time of year where it's like, yes, it's starting to get hot. I want to go watch a baseball game.
That's
regardless
like just what you
if we're
want to do.
supporting our Bulldogs here or going to a Rockabilly's game or driving to St. Louis and watching my Cardinals.
Yeah, I mean, I like you said, I think it is literally the perfect time to start baseball just because, spring, it's not too hot yet. It's not too cold, like you said, and it's perfect. And it's even better because it's baseball,
Oh, yeah.
If it was any other sport, I feel like it would be really different. But it feels right, like you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah, so let's go into why we love baseball so much. So if you want to dive into what your story is with baseball, like I know you worked for the Rockabilly's a couple summers ago. Talk about that.
Yeah, so I've never really played baseball that much. I played once when I was like 5, and I just did not like it really much at all. But I've always been really around the game. I would say I'm not as familiar with it as someone like you would be, but ever since I've been in high school and now especially college, going to a college with a baseball team, it just feels differently. Like I'm finding myself enjoying it more, and it's just something relaxing about it. It's just something that just sits right. I remember, shout out Ted Cluck, getting romantic about it. How it's just a spring day, you ain't got nothing going on. It's like a Tuesday afternoon or something like that. You're like, oh, Union's playing. Let's go buy a hot dog and go sit in the bleachers and watch them play. And it's just, hearing them play the songs, the walk-up music, the national anthem, the crack of the bat, metal or wooden. But no, it's just something that I'm sitting back and I'm like, it feels right. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. What about you? I know you're probably a little bit more in depth with it.
Yeah, so I was born into a baseball family. My mom, little bit of a difference maker. My dad's a huge Cardinals fan. She grew up a Cubs fan because it was the only people she could watch on TV. But she grew up watching that with her dad and her brother, so she always loved baseball. She obviously didn't play, but she always grew up loving it. So, of course, when she married my dad, it got 10 times worse. My dad played baseball at Union, actually. Shout out Jamie. He was a catcher here for 3 years.
Shout out.
Yeah, he had a great time. He wasn't amazing, but he's my dad, so I'm proud of him.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's a good.
That's awesome. You got a collegiate athlete as a father.
Yeah, I know. I didn't live up to the expectation. I'm a high school, and that's it. Baseball, I didn't even make it to high school. I wasn't very good, like you said. I played because it was just my way to spend time with my dad, and so I grew to love the game he did. Some of my best memories growing up were watching the Cardinals usually beat the Cubs. They should on Sunday afternoons or just whenever he got home from work during the summertime, and it was just awesome for me. And then growing up playing baseball, we played every night. He came home when I was 3 or 4. I wanted to go out here and him soft tossing me. I loved it. And I just breathed it until I was about 12 and kind of just got I burnt out on it. Playing it, but it's just something I'm never going to give up.
So you would attribute your love for it more with that family aspect, spending time with your dad. And it's just so whenever you play baseball, I know obviously not in the same aspect as you did, but whenever you play or throw or even watch, does that bring you back a little bit to spend time with your dad?
I miss it a lot. Going to college, I don't see him every day. I try to talk to him every day.
Yeah.
But it's just somewhere you're a little bit nostalgic for, even though I was terrible. I'm very thankful my dad didn't make me the stereotypical coach's kid who batted cleanup and played shortstop because I was not that good. But I just that
takes some humility to admit that.
I was bad. I was chunky. I couldn't run. I was a catcher.
Yeah.
I wanted to be just like my dad, and I had fun. And then it didn't work out. But just the memories I've made and the friendships, I still talk to a lot of people. I grew up playing baseball.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It's a great thing about youth sports specifically. It was youth baseball for me.
Yeah. So, kind of going off of that, we can dove a little bit into it, like just the individual like stories with it. So what are some like, maybe it's MLB, maybe it's just your personal ones. Like, what are some your favorite like stories or like memories that you have with the game?
Memories. One thing my family does, it's awesome. We try to go, every time we go to like a big city, we go to like tour the ballpark or go to a game.
Yeah.
So some of my greatest memories have been like walking through like the Phillies dugout, and like seeing Hunter Pence taking batting practice, or like walking through Fenway like, on top of the monster. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Or even going to like a San Francisco game in like July and it being on the bay, and like I didn't bring a jacket and like freezing my tail off, and all my family were cold, so we had to leave early. All those memories are fun, but dude, I'm a baseball nerd. Yeah. Especially the Cardinals.
You're behind the baseball type of guy?
Dude, I could dive into a baseball reference page and spend hours just dissecting it. Yes. Like much of I was homeschooled, so I got my schoolwork done before the average public schooler. So a lot of my free time was spent like just consuming anything with baseball.
Why? So, what's the draw to it?
I don't know. I just like always wanted to be a baseball player. And just like even like the personal like swagger of a baseball player. Like the backwards sunglasses, the long hair, the mullets.
Yeah. Get a little flow going on. Yeah.
Dude, I've always just wanted to have that, even though I don't play anymore.
Yeah, I remember the softball game the other night. You were rocking some drip. Shout out Cluck for the headband.
Dude, the Cluck headband is tough. You know, I had to. You know, again not great at baseball. I'm probably like this worst or second worst on our team. But I'm a catcher. I don't really do too much. So you got drip or drown, right?
Drip or drown. Hey,
so I got to get the sleeves.
That's like that. It's that graph we were talking about. It's like how drippy can you be before you have to like start playing good, you know?
Yeah. So like I'm way too drippy, and I'm an okay bat. Good contact guy. I'm not gonna hit 5 home runs like some of my teammates, but that's me. It's great.
Yeah. And so on those stories, we're gonna shift a little bit over to just moments that you've witnessed in games. You know, we talked a little bit before this, but like, what are some of your favorite like baseball moments that you've watched? You know?
Yeah. So with opening day around, it just like Busch Stadium. It's always like I watch the game with my roommate. It's always beautiful. It's just something I'm romanticized about.
Yeah.
Like, all year, like I can't wait for opening day. So naturally for me, it's gonna be some of the greatest Cardinal moments of all time. The most recent one I can think of is 3 of the greatest Cardinals that ever put on jersey. Yadier Molina, like our catcher, one of the greatest defenders, if not the greatest defensive catcher of all time, if not the greatest catcher of all time. Him retiring the same year as Albert Pujols. Like longtime slugger, kind of had a fall off, came back to the Cardinals.
So they came back for the Cardinals just for that like little cherry on top ending. Dude,
he'd been so bad and came back and hit 24 home runs, I think. Broke Alex Rodriguez's records, the 3rd most home runs ever, and it was just awesome to see. And their like longtime friend Adam Wainwright, who played one more season, wasn't very good, but he played one more season. They all got to walk off one last time at Busch Stadium in the playoffs together.
Yeah,
dude, like we lost a series to the Phillies. But like, it was just one of the greatest moments of my life, and it was so awesome to go to a game that year. Even though like I went the game we went to, we lost, but Pujols was right next to tying him, and he hit one deep to like left field, and it just went foul. But I was like, oh my gosh, I'm here! I got it on video. I was so excited. But that was crazy. That would have been the greatest one of my life if he actually hit it. But like just many memories. Like I had my tonsils removed as a kid. I'm gonna get into some crazy moments. So I watched the 2015 playoffs at home because I didn't have to do schoolwork or anything. It was awesome. I was eating tubs of ice cream.
Shout out homeschool.
Shout out no tonsils, and shout out ice cream, dude.
Hey, that's
made me through it.
That's the what's it called? The
cherry on top.
Cherry on top.
Yes, dude, it was awesome. So I got to watch every single game. That year, the Cardinals were in it. We didn't do good, but that was the Blue Jays year when they were insane. Like you talked about the bat flip. I'll let you get into
Batista,
that. But dude, that was another one of my favorite moments of all time. And dude, my favorite's got to be 2011. I was 6. I was in bed. I don't remember it, but I have seen it so many times. And my dad, I remember my dad tell me the next day how excited he was as a Cardinals fan. Like, dude. I know you went to bed. You're 6. You don't fully understand this. But the Cardinals, they were gonna lose the World Series, and David Freese, the hometown kid, hits a home run to send us. Well, he hits a triple first. Which is insane because he wasn't really fast. Misplay in right field. I don't feel bad for Rangers fans because you had a defensive subway on your bench. But dude, it was just insane. And then we go on to win the next day. Dude, it's romantic. Pujols is last year as a Cardinal. Everyone thought Freeze, hometown kid, just something to be romantic about.
Is that the "We will see you tomorrow night"?
Oh yes, the Oh, and it's even like that. It's
Yeah.
awesome. So, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name. Who said that? He's an announcer.
If I heard his name, I know
Joe. It's Joe. Is it Buck? Is that
yes,
right?
it's Joe Buck.
It's
yes.
Joe Buck. So
yeah, Joe Buck.
I don't know why I'm blanking on the name, but Joe Buck.
Shout out Joe Buck.
His dad was the Cardinals like a radio announcer for like probably 60 years, like Vince Scully type. And so that was always his thing. He said was "See you tomorrow night." And I remember my dad just romanticizing that, like even though like his dad like had died, he couldn't say it anymore.
Yeah.
Joe Buck got to say it in the playoffs.
That's awesome.
And it was just like a full circle moment for that.
Yeah.
Play. So that's a couple of the moments that I just really love. I can go into some more, but I gotta give you a little time to speak.
So mine are definitely not going to be as nostalgic as yours, just because obviously I didn't grow up around the game. But just as a sports fan, my mind obviously goes to like walk-offs. I feel like more than anything, and like you said, with the Blue Jays in 2015 with Batista, and I remember. I will never forget from now on was it Mag and Feature where you made us watch the video. It was about that play, and it was Batista, and you were like, I can quote this. I've like seen it all.
Oh yeah, probably yeah.
Yeah, and it was just the moment, the hit, the intensity behind it, the bat flip, just everything about the swagger. That just you had to have a certain amount of swagger to pull something like that off. Whoopsie, but it just worked. It was just like the perfect moment. And then, so just like going off of that, like you were talking about how.
Back to the swagger,
yes. So in baseball, you mentioned it a little bit earlier about how just you have to have a certain amount of swagger to play baseball, or just playing baseball gives you a certain amount of swagger. And then it's just from that on, just seeing that moment, the intensity of it, the swagger, he had everything going for him right. He hits it, bat flip, which I think is awesome. Bat flipping. Yeah, I know we talked about that before, of just how celebrating home runs in general, whether that's like morally correct or not. I think it is. I love it. I think it just, as a fan, it brings so much more like emotion to the game. And I think that's part of the reason why I love it so much, just the emotional aspect of it, because then kind of coattailing off of that emotion, my mind goes to the 23 World Baseball Classic. That was a good one. You had Japan, shout out Shohei, and shout out Logan Murphy for letting me use this. And then you had USA in the final. You had Shohei Ohtani pitching to Mike Trout, teammates. And it's just like, I don't know. It was perfect.
It's romantic.
It's romantic,
back to
yes.
romanticizing, baseball. It's just everywhere you go, no matter what day it is, someone's breaking a record.
Yeah.
And like even like Dallas Braden throwing a no-hitter on Mother's Day with his grandma in attendance who raised him. There's just so much to be romanticizing
like, shoot
about
that
baseball.
in my veins.
Dude, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you watch baseball movies at all?
Yeah, I've watched a few.
So you've seen Field of Dreams?
Yeah, I've loved Field of Dreams. Yeah, like that's tugging at the heartstrings right there.
Romanticizing baseball. There's it's like, and that like one like the speech. Like, there's one constant baseball, and we've had baseball for almost
forever.
I'd probably like maybe 200 years is probably too long.
Yeah,
but
it was around when it started with 18. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I think I started around the Civil War, so like a little, maybe like 160 on the years.
Still, that's a lot of time,
dude. Baseball's been through it all, and people like I told my dad, dude, just going through that, and he had like a troubled relationship with like his dad and his stepdad, but one thing he could do with both of them is go to watch a Cardinals game,
and that's just
like his grandpa take him to a Memphis Redbirds game.
Yeah,
there's just something that like baseball, no matter like what you're going through, it's always going to be there, and it's always going to be a break from reality. Yeah. And it's always gonna have something to pull at your heart.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
Like Shohei versus Mike, the
friends. You couldn't have written that up any better.
No, it's like, dude, there's so many like storyline endings that like could be scripted, but you can't script anything in baseball. Yeah. It's just one of the most perfect ways of telling a story and getting to the ending. Like, this is baseball. Yeah,
and another moment that comes to mind when you said the Field of Dreams, when they had the Field of Dreams game, was it White awesome. Sox and
Yankees, the Cardinals and Pirates or Cubs played in it because it was like weird.
Yeah, my mind goes to that Yankees White Sox game. Someone hit a walk-off on that one day.
Tim Anderson.
Yeah, Tim Anderson, yes. And it's just, like you said, just Field of Dreams, baseball. It's just everything just working together to have that storybook ending.
And MLB knows, like, they do a great job at, like, there was Rickwood Field is a famous like Negro League park, old ballpark in the South, and they play games there. They're not doing this year because of construction, but the Cardinals played games there 2 years ago, and it was kind of celebrating like the cultures and like all the things that come to baseball, which what makes baseball so great.
Yeah.
And like they do so good at leaning into that. We have Jackie Robinson Day, like that's great. We have like days like ALS Day when Lou Gehrig, and there's like special like nicknames for people. Dude, there's so much to love about baseball, man.
Yeah.
And MLB does a great job marketing as a
I will say
society.
MLB, like in terms of just from a brand aspect, MLB does a great job of just knowing what it stands for.
Oh yeah.
And just pushing that, not trying to make it anything else.
Dude, 100%.
Yeah. And so we mentioned talking about this a lot, but I want to go back to just the idea of a walk-off in general. That is, in my opinion, the greatest like ending to a sports game like you could think of. Like
There's nothing better.
There's nothing better. Like I'm thinking like buzzer beater, last second touchdown. Like that's great. But give me a walk-off, like a walk-off homer. Like that's just
playoffs.
Like
Every kid dreams about, hey, I'm up to bat.
Yeah.
Bases are loaded. 2 outs. Bottom of the ninth. 3-2 count. What do you do?
You're swinging and you're tanking it, and it's like, oh my! I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
It's got to be the greatest feeling in baseball, and the fact there's only been I think 2 like walk-off grand slams or walk-off like home runs in a World Series just makes like even more of a fairy tale.
Exactly. So it's like, it's just there's something about it. I don't know. I mean, yes, you have those moments in other sports like we talk about, like just the other night, UConn hitting that dagger against Duke,
Incredible
that
shot.
was crazy, and my mind then goes to like the Minneapolis Miracle in the Vikings and Saints, like against Diggs' sideline touchdown. But it's like, those are cool, but it's just, it feels so much more electric when it's a homer, when it's a walk-off, you know?
Yeah, a homer, dude. Even a walk-off like walk or hit still gives me the chills.
Yeah.
Now, I'd say like a buzzer beater's better than that, but dude, the walk-off homer in its top tier.
With the bat flip and everything.
The bat flip.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the bat flip. I'm like traditional. I think you should put your head. I think you should put your head down, run to first. I was raised and I get like everyone comes from different cultures. Like, and the World Baseball Classic, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic come from a culture where celebrating a home run is different than America. But I just think you hit the ball, you beat the guy, like show some sportsmanship and go to first. But that's my opinion.
Yeah.
You obviously disagree with that.
I think. Now that you say that, I'm not going to switch up entirely because that would just be crazy. But I think that, yes, having some emotion in it, like a little bat flip is good. But like when people when they'll throw the bat like towards the pitcher, or
you
like
can't do that. They get thrown out for that.
Yeah, there's definitely a limit, and I feel like hugging right underneath that in anything is like what I love, just because since. This kind of goes back into that mindset of you grew up like around the game more than I did. I'm more of a consumer, whereas yours is like an enjoyer. I feel like would be better.
Yeah. I'm a nerd. I'll say it.
Like you're a nerd. Yeah, like, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just like from a fan's perspective, seeing that emotion, seeing that out of the ordinary moment happen is just like
the best.
It's like because yes, hitting the homer is good and getting the walk off, but like. Part of the reason I love it so much is because of that personality that you see with it. Because I've written about this for a lot of different things.
Rockabillies. Yeah, you
like Rockabillies. Yeah, I worked with the Rockabillies, and just being around the game for that, and like seeing the play, like interacting with the players, and like getting to know them on a personal level, and like bonding with them, and then seeing them like be themselves on the field is just so cool because. Yes, there is a time and a place for the emotion, and there's a time and a place where you're not supposed to have it. But I feel like after hitting a home run of that level, walking off, ending the game, that just that gets me going, man. Yeah,
and I'm still for like the famous Kirk Gibson moment when he's rounding around third doing the lawnmower. And even he's like, I don't know what I was doing. I was just full of emotion.
Yeah,
I get that. It's like the bat flip and the staring and watching the ball.
Yeah,
I'm a little old school traditional with that. But I know like this brings viewers in the game, and like you're an enjoyer, you're a consumer of like what ESPN's posting that. ESPN is not posting.
That's how
Albert
you get it.
Pujols hitting a home run and running to first.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I get that, and there's good and bad aspects. There's pros and cons to all of it.
Yeah, and then that in turn, I feel like it also helps the business aspect of it as well.
Oh, 100%.
Just because like what you were saying, ESPN Sports Center, like they're gonna post the bat flips. They're gonna post and they're not gonna post just the guy just hitting a tank and just jogging around the bases in 30 seconds or whatever. But then that in turn is like, okay, like it worked for me, you know, where I'm like, man, that's cool.
It keeps people who aren't going to have the time or to make the time like I do to consume the game, like interested in the game, which I think is great, which I think is something that like the NBA isn't doing well today.
Yeah, well, we can go into that another time.
But that's just something great. So, real quick.
Yeah.
You obviously mentioned Batista. Do you have a favorite like walk-off home run? I mentioned David Freeze's, so I'm going to go to a different one. But there's so many I could go off
I'm trying to think of, or
just a favorite home run in general.
Yeah, I'm going to go a little bit off MLB. I'm going to go more college baseball. We talked about this a little bit against the Wright State.
The Tennessee
game. Vol. That's just, I don't know, just being from Tennessee, I guess I'm always going to, despite whether or not I like the Vols or not, that's a whole different story. But just like being from Tennessee, I'm always going to root for them a little bit. And just was it super regional that they did it or?
Yeah. No, I don't know. It was in the college World Series picture.
Yeah, it was somewhere along those lines. It was playoffs. It was a do or die game.
Yeah, they were down. It was like we talked about, grand slam, bottom of the ninth, 2 strikes.
That's perfect. That just is the perfect inning. He hits it. He stands there. And he looks at and he throws the bat. He looks at his side. He looks at his dugout.
2 minutes.
He took forever.
Huge Tennessee fan. Huge Tennessee baseball
Shout
fan.
out Vols.
Shout out to Vols, but dude, you can't be doing that.
No,
and I know that's the whole like moxie
I feel like that's the line.
we have, but like, dude, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, and college.
But it was an electric moment that brought people to love the game, which I appreciate.
And like I started watching Tennessee baseball games more because of that moment, just because of like
incredible moment.
Yeah, and then from that, just seeing the run that Tennessee had, like. It was the year they won the national championship. Was the year I was at the Rockabilly Stadium, and so like being in baseball, and then on top of that, like I went to go watch them play at the SEC championship in Hoover, and like I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for that home run, probably because I wouldn't have been like, okay, that's electric, you know.
That's awesome. I hadn't really thought about that going into this, but
And so and it's just like it's awesome. It's a draw, which in turn creates more fans, which in turn creates more money. And so it's a win-win, I feel like, for everybody.
Yeah, I know. And like it gives someone a person to look up to. Like I look up to all these MLB stars, and I feel like they all do a great job in the MLB about being good influences on these kids. And I just something like maybe I like to do it differently and look at a different player. Like I may be different today, but just like I watched the Albert Pujols and Adam Wainwright, who were just good men to look up to.
And it's just good role models. You don't see. Obviously, there are your outliers, but I feel like you said, for the most part, baseball players they have a good head on their shoulders would be the best thing. And a lot of them are men of faith, which is another great thing. And it's just seeing, like, being able to let your kids sit down and watch these people play and knowing that they're good people is another, like, aspect that draws people to MLB as well.
Oh, 100%. It's a good conversation.
Yeah.
Dude, okay. So, as we're wrapping up here, did you watch opening day at all?
I watched a little bit of opening day. I kept up with the Cardinals just because I saw they had a really good game. I have it on my phone where like I'm trying to get into baseball, I promise, because I did watch it a little bit. I'll say that, yeah. Oh, but I remember, like we said, the Cardinals game, they hit like 8 runs in 1 inning or something like that to come back.
Game.
Yeah, that was good. I remember seeing the Paul Skeens headline. He gave up like 5 runs in 1 inning. He got pulled and like.
Everyone who played the Classic played terrible today.
Him being the highlight of the league, I feel like right now, just because of how marketable his story is that was crazy. And then like with the World Baseball Classic, I remember not a lot of them that played in the tournament like played that great on opening day,
no
right?
one really did. Griffin Jacks, another USA guy, gave that big home run to Alec Burleson. Skeens didn't pitch well.
Yeah.
I know, and you have more to like when like my country's on my uniform, I'm gonna play a little bit harder. Everything I got.
Yeah,
it's more necessary than I do in a random game of June.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's awesome about baseball.
Yeah,
dude, I loved opening day for me. It was just awesome. There was so many great storylines. You know, rookies playing well.
I heard the rookies played really good. Yeah, or are playing well.
Yeah, first run of the season for the Cardinals was a home run by their top prospect, and he walked it off the next day.
Shout out walk-offs, man.
My boy Kevin up in I think that's his name. McGonigal, I think is his name. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm terrible with names. But he's hitting like 600 right now. Chase DeLauder for the Guardians. He's on pace technically to hit like 170 home runs. He's already hit like 4 in 3 games.
There you go.
Dude, and then we have like teams like the A's, young promising A's team, 50 strikeouts in 3 games.
Yeah.
So baseball's back. We got teams slumping. We got teams going up.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great season. I'm really excited.
I'm really excited,
and
man.
you're getting into it.
I'm getting into it. We're going to have to watch some games.
Dude, we're going to have to watch some games. My challenge to you is how I've fallen back in love with baseball after not playing in high school the last few years is going to games, no matter if that's like the AAA affiliate in my hometown, Nashville, or to going up to a Cardinals game my roommate's here. Okay. So my challenge to you is, whether that's your friends, your family, whoever you're hanging out with, who you're dating, dude, go to a Cardinals game with someone in the summer. And
Let's do it.
Or a Cardinals game,
anything. Yeah.
Go to a baseball game, enjoy the vibe with your family or whoever you take, and just, eat a hot dog, drink some lemonade, and watch the game.
Let's do it.
Dude, buy some Cracker Jacks, the song goes, get up with the 7th inning stretch. Dude, there's so much to enjoy about baseball in the summer, and that's my challenge to you guys. Go to a game this summer, enjoy everything that goes on in a baseball game. There's so many teams all over the country, so even if you go watch a high school game in the next few months, there's so many things to be romanticized about baseball. And so I think it's an opportunity that you're gonna regret missing someday.
Love it.
You got any last thoughts?
I think you about summed it up there, Mr. Mosley.
So hey, go to a baseball game this summer. It's me and Stu's challenge to both everyone listening, and my personal challenge to Stewart. Yeah. This has been the Sidelines podcast. Shout out to Nora for the awesome graphic.
Shout out Nora for the editing as well.
Dude, yeah, shout out Tech Cluck, Nora, everyone who puts effort in this podcast. It's gonna be So thank you guys for listening, and tune back in later.
Yep. See y'all.
See ya.